Oh, it is the thing to make the cool kid emotes. C. Slight change, have to type TTSB fro, the lady will read it. Yup. Oh hi KBP, you have to do a TTS to activate Canooch. Where's Canooch? Ya might make things less distractee and interruptee. And I added a lot of the cool kid emotes. I am cool, I am with it, I am not too old. At KBPSC. No more beignet tridexate though.
Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. How's it going? I have a doggy. He is very cute, and everyone loves him. Every time I bring him up on the screen, KBP loves it. Say hi, Bo. This is Bobo, the baby bark boy. Go on, Bobo. Go play. Yeah? Hi. How's everybody doing tonight? I am doing good. I am doing fine. I'm also playing video games with my feet in the background. It is very exciting. I'm so good at video games that I can just play them with my feet in the reverse in the monitor, and I'm that good that I still win sometimes. And I'm having a beer because it's a good day. It's a good day, guys. It really is. We're all in the K-Hive now. I hope you're all here. I hope you're all happy. I hope you're all having a great time.
We love you, Bobo.
We love you, Bobo. It's true. K-Hive, are you ready? Are you ready to join the K-Hive? Are you buzzing? Are you a bee, a busy little bee in the K-Hive? It's going to be great. Let's see. So, yeah, I suggested many weeks ago, probably around June, that good old Joe Brandon wasn't with it enough. And after his terrible debate, I suggested they get somebody else. Lots of people said it too. Lots of people freaked out. Lots of people got excited. Lots of people got defensive. Lots of people got offensive. There was a lot of offensives happening. And my suggestion was, hey, let the guy retire, pick somebody else. That's kind of happened, as you saw in the news yesterday, that good old Joe Brandon has bowed out of the race. He gave up and has rescinded his he's resigned from the campaign, which is not a surprise. That's the only way it could have gone down. There was no way to get outvote him or change it at the thing without him specifically saying, I am no longer running, which he has. Very nice of him to do. Good call. It's a thing that boomer parents don't always do. It's a thing that the old folks don't like to do, is to give up what they have or what they've worked for. I mean, not to get too personal, but I know older family members who have done things like that. They just refuse to let go. They refuse to pass their stuff on to their kids until they're dead, and then it's just more difficult. Sometimes they won't even write a will because they're just convinced that they're never going to die. It's very strange. It's a very bad looking thing, but I'm glad we didn't have to deal with it this time. So, where are we? We are looking at what is probably going to be a Kamala Harris campaign. I think that enough people are supporting her so far, and she's getting all the right people to say nice things about her, and she's done a ton of fundraising over the past 24 hours, $80 million worth of fundraising and stuff like that over the past 24 hours. So I suspect that she's going to win at the convention. Still some small room for someone to challenge her at the convention. I don't think they're going to do that. Even if we do have an open convention, I think everybody votes for her, and that's where we are. That's what it is now. That's just how it goes now. And is that better than it was last week? Yes. Is it still guaranteed? No. But that's okay. Better is better. Slightly better odds are good. And I'm glad we got slightly better odds. So, I know I jumped right into it tonight. My name is Waldo. I'm here on Twitch and on YouTube and on Kick talking to you about the politics, feeling the headlines with you. So I've got a handful of headline. I've got a handful of headlines to talk about tonight. I got a whole handful of them listed up, brought up already. We'll talk about them. If you want to tell me what to talk about, you can do that. You can just go right into the Discord. Bam, right there. Yeah, I'm dicking it up tonight, KBP. I was going to say shaking it up, but I just dicked it up. So if you want to tell me what to talk about, you can go right there to that Discord and tell me and leave links there. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. You can tell us what stories to talk about. Leave a link to a story there. I'll bring it up. We'll put it up on the screen. We can talk about it. You can feel about it. It'll be a great time. And while you're there in the Discord, you can argue with any of the other people that are there in that Discord. I've got Popog and KBP and a few other people that have been in there before. You can just argue with them all day if you want. It's a thing. It's a free country. You're allowed to do that. Then, if you would like to watch old videos, you can go to that YouTube link right there. Right, that will have all of the streams cut down into smaller, manageable, sometimes manageable, sizes, and then you can just watch individual topics and things like that and get a good feel for what I'm talking about, what I'm thinking, what we're doing. And it cuts out all the ums and the uhs and the pauses, things like that. And like that pause right there, it would have been removed with my editing software. So that is the whole thing. So let's take a look at some of those things. Small change to the channel, channel update. If you want Canooch to read what you're saying, you have to do exclamation TTS and then a word.
A word.
And the lovely lady Canooch will read it out. And the reason I did that was because I got interrupted by this right here all the time. Every few minutes these pop up to make people pay attention, but then it talks into my ear and then I can't talk. And after watching last week's video, there was so many interruptions. It was good. I love it that you're here. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for hopping into chat. But if you're just replying to each other, because I think Shinsenто and Popog were like replying to each other, but then it said it out loud and it disrupted Thomas and it threw me off for a little bit. And then I have to re-pick up what I'm saying. So if you want the Lady Canooch to say it, throw an exclamation TTS in there. If not, just type it in there. We'll read it. Especially if you're replying to somebody else, just don't use the TTS on that. Then I put a whole bunch of cool kids Twitch streamer emotes in here. The only one I can remember is the cat jam. So it's the only one I can remember. There's a bunch of them. It's all the common ones. It's all the normal ones that you see on Twitch every day. I don't remember most of them. So give that a shot, KBP. And make sure it works, if you wouldn't mind doing that for me, because I know I can do it, but I Can't Buttons said something about it costing 100,000 points or something like that, but I don't know what the hell that is. So yeah, KBP, if you want to do me a favor, the lowercase CAT and then capital JAM. Give that a shot. Well, that's the regular emotes. No, I want that one. The word cat, then capital. There you go. I Can't Buttons can do it. Good. Thank God. I'm so glad you did that. Thank you. Because I wasn't sure if I set it up right. I can do it, but I don't know if you can. So you've gotten it. You've proven it. All of the normal Twitchy ones are there. I just took the top 50 or something like that that are the most common. Yeah, we're grooving. Yeah, see, exactly. Not that I ever play music on here, but just in case. So yeah, if you look up the common Twitchy ones, I have those now. That's the plan. Just do something to increase to improve the stream just a little bit every day. Just a little thing every day, make the stream a little bit better. And see, and this is the other thing that I'm going to capture the Zoomers with the gameplay footage in the background. So they're going to be paying attention, hearing my words, but also multi-brain faceted, because they can't just watch somebody talk. They have to watch somebody talk and have gameplay footage in the background and chat and music while they're doing their dishes and studying for the SATs. It's a Zoomer thing. I'm far too old to understand them. I just know that this is it. Real TikTok energy. Exactly. That's what I'm going for. I Can't Buttons. You nailed it on the head. I'm shooting for that TikTok energy. That's what I'm doing to try and get the kids in here to watch as well.
You're doing very badly at playing with your feet.
Oh, okay. I'm doing very badly at playing this game with my feet. Okay, so what are we doing? Brain rot in the other corner. Yeah. This is all the brain smart. This is all the brain rot. That we've got everything together, and I'm in between them. I don't know what I'm going for here. So what happened in the news? Oh my God! Let's look at the news. Let's look at the stuff right here. That lovely lady right there is what was her name again? Oh yeah, Kamala Harris. She is about to run for president. K-Hive, K-Dog, yeah, there she is. We're going to watch her most famous 43 seconds. And it's lovely. Here you go. If you haven't seen it, it's fantastic.
Part of the extension of the work you will do is, yes, focused on our young leaders and our young people, but understanding we also then have to be clear about the needs of their parents and their grandparents and their teachers and their communities. Because none of us just live in a silo. Everything is in context. My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
So, when you hear the memes about the coconut tree, that's what they're talking about. Can relate, yeah. I mean, my parents said all kinds of dumb shit, but you think you just fell out of a coconut tree? That's what they're talking about. That's what the memes are going to be. The memes will arrive about coconuts and coconut trees. I'm here for it. I'm on board. I did, in fact, just fall out of a coconut tree yesterday, and so did you. Our whole country just fell out of a coconut tree. I mean, I know what she's going for. She's just doing a bad job getting there. As a person who has looked into cameras and tried to explain his thoughts out loud, poorly, in the past, the idea that no man is an island, that's what she's going for there, that you exist within a society. If there weren't any roads, how could I have been driven to a school? If there weren't any teachers, how could I have learned to read? If there weren't any construction workers, how could the school have been built? You don't live on an island. Everything that you are and have, somebody made this shirt. Everything that you are is part of a society, is part of a tapestry and stuff like that. We're all in it together. That's what she's trying to go for, but it comes out you didn't just fall out of a coconut tree. I get what she's going for, but it is a complicated and weird analogy to make. Attack the libertarians. Yeah. That was an attack from me on the libertarians, for sure. So what I'm going to do now is bring up the first 10 minutes of her acceptance speech kind of thing today. So let's hear what she has to say, see what she's thinking today, see what she's talking about now, and see how she sounds. And then we're going to think, like, how is this going to play against Donald Trump? How is this going to play to make her better than Joe Biden?
To go out and earn this nomination and to win.
Yay!
So in the days and weeks ahead, I, together with you, will do everything in my power to unite our Democratic Party, to unite our nation, and to win this election. You know, as many of you know, before I was elected as vice president, before I was elected as United States Senator, I was the elected Attorney General, as I've mentioned, of California, and before that I was a courtroom prosecutor. In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
Oh, she's throwing shade already? Perpetrators of all kinds. Like sex offenders. People who ran bogus colleges.
Who abused women. Mm-hmm. Fraudsters who ripped off consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Taking on felons, I know, right? What a crazy person to... Why would she do such a thing?
And in this campaign, I will proudly put my record against his. As a young prosecutor, when I was in the Alameda County District Attorney's Office in California, I specialized in cases involving sexual abuse. Donald Trump was found liable by a jury for committing sexual abuse. As Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges and put it out of business. Donald Trump ran a for-profit college, Trump University, that was forced to pay $25 million to the students it scammed. As district attorney, to go after polluters, I created one of the first environmental justice units in our nation. Donald Trump stood in Mar-a-Lago and told big oil lobbyists he would do their bidding for a $1 billion campaign contribution.
That's true. That happened like a couple of weeks ago, but nobody bothered to talk about it because we all just expect it and it's fine now. That's not a problem in our society anymore, is that the guy who's running for president goes and says, hey, if you give me a whole bunch of money, then I'll win and pass laws that benefit you so that you can make a whole bunch of money. It sounds like bribery to me, but apparently it's not. Ooh.
During the foreclosure crisis, I took on the big Wall Street banks and won $20 billion for California families, holding those banks accountable for fraud. Donald Trump was just found guilty of 34 counts of fraud. But make no mistake, all of that being said,
No.
this campaign is not just about us versus Donald Trump.
MSNBC has been taken over by the lizard people. George Soros is changing up their programming. Careful.
There is more to this campaign than that. Our campaign has always been about two different versions of what we see as the future of our country, two different visions for the future of our country. One focused on the future, the other focused on the past.
I say this about conservatives all the time. They are a backward-facing ideology. They look toward the past to decide what they ought to do today. Tradition is more important to them than reason, you know?
Donald Trump wants to take our country backward to a time before many of our fellow Americans had full freedoms and rights. But we believe in a brighter future that makes room for all Americans. We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead. That's right. We believe in a future where no child has to grow up in poverty, where every person can buy a home, start a family, and build wealth, and where every person has access to paid family leave and affordable child care. That's the future we see.
Low bar, she could have said universal health care and really took off.
Together we fight to build a nation where every person has affordable health care.
Yes. Affordable health care. Come on.
Where every worker is paid fairly. Yes. And where every senior can retire with dignity. Yes. All of this is to say, building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency. Because we here know when our middle class is strong, America is strong. That's right. And we know that's not the future Donald Trump is fighting for. He and his extreme Project 2025 will weaken the middle class and bring us backward. Please do note that. Back to the failed trickle-down policies that gave huge tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations and made working families pay the cost. Back to policies that put Social Security and Medicare on the chopping block. Back to policies that treat health care as only a privilege for the wealthy instead of what we all know it should be, which is a right for every American. Right. America has tried these economic policies before. They do not lead to prosperity. They lead to inequity and economic injustice. And we are not going back. We are not going back. You're not taking us back. Our fight for the future is also a fight for freedom. Generations of Americans before us have led the fight for freedom, from our founders to our framers, to the abolitionists and the suffragettes, to the freedom riders and farm workers. And now I say, team, the baton is in our hands. We who believe in the sacred freedom to vote, we who are committed to fight to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. We who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence, and that's why we will work to pass universal background checks, red flag laws, and an assault weapons ban.
Oh no, she said the thing. She should push for like AR-15s.
Who will
Yeah.
fight for reproductive freedom, knowing if Trump gets the chance, he will sign a national abortion ban to outlaw abortion in every single state, but we are not going to let that happen. It is this team here that is going to help in this November to elect a majority of members of the United States Congress who agree the government should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. And when Congress passes a law to restore reproductive freedoms, as President of the United States, I will sign it into law. Indeed, we the people. So ultimately, to all the friends here, I say, in this election, we know we each face a question: what kind of country do we want to live in? A country of freedom, compassion, and rule of law?
Yes!
Or a country of chaos, fear, and hate?
Was one guy who was
You
like,
all
yeah,
are
wait,
here
no.
because you as leaders know we each, including our neighbors and our friends and our family, we each as Americans have the power to answer that question. That's the beauty of it, the power of the people. We each have the ability to answer that question. So in the next 106 days, we have work to do. We have doors to knock on.
I understand what you mean.
We
I
have people
can't
to
buttons.
talk to. We have phone calls to make. And we have an election to win. So are you ready to get to work? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity?
Okay.
Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we willing to fight for it?
Okay. So that is just a little bit better than anything Joe Brandon's run brought out in the past couple of months. Yeah, I got you. This is the same administration supporting the chaos in Gaza, right? Well, the Joe Biden has always been on the Israel side of that situation. He always has, and I've always criticized him about it. Bill Maher is an issue. I agree with the people, the cheering and the laughing and the hooting and the hollering. It's a different type of entertainment, I understand. So yeah, that was the new K Queen. We're ready for her. It's going to be great. Is she better than Joe Biden? Yes. Can she still beat Donald Trump? Maybe. Probably. She has a better chance, I think. So we've got a couple more links to take a look at. I've got one more right here. That would be funny. And then I've got the one here that I Can't Buttons is just linked. Very nice. Thank you, sir. typing it in, doing a copy pasta to put it in here where it belongs. If you want to be cool like I can't buttons, you can go into the Discord and tell us what to look at. Tell us what to watch. So let's take a look at what he linked. 18 billion for homeowners. Here we go. This looks like a campaign ad. Yeah, there we go. Let's hit it.
Sick of this? Well, think about this. He's a world leader in temper tantrums. She never loses her cool. She prosecuted sex predators. He is one.
He is one.
She shut down for-profit colleges that swindled Americans. He was a for-profit college.
At Trump University, we teach success.
Literally. He's owned by the big banks. She's the attorney general who beat the biggest banks in America and forced them to pay homeowners $18 billion. He's tearing us apart. She'll bring us together. This is Trump. And in every possible way, this is the anti-Trump. So if that's what you're looking for in your next president, there's really only one. Kamala.
Anti-Trump. It's a good term. Maybe she runs with it. Maybe she sticks with it. Maybe she doesn't. Anti-Trump. The anti-Trump. He is one. She's the anti-Trump. I'm glad the movie guy gets to do voiceover work. So it's good stuff. So let me see. What is the silly one, the fun one? Here's the fun one. Let's this is one of those diss tracks apparently I've heard so much about.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogie man, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walking down whole time, I know he got some hoe on him. Pull on him, start shit, bully the floor on him. Say Drake, I hate you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. Any bitch that talk to him and they
All right, I'm not cool enough to pull that off. But I don't know who that was. It was linked by a friend of mine in the Discord. It's very nice. It's very fun. I can put the link if I hadn't already. I'll put it into my Discord because I'm a member of a whole bunch of them. So, is that silly and fun? Yes. Is it going to go well? I think so. I don't think that she's going to be as wimpy and doddering and lost during the debates. I mean, Biden had a whole bunch of moments like that where he was just kind of staring into he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know where he was. He was just kind of open mouth, eyeballing around. He didn't know what was going on. It was a thing. Drake lost so bad now he's a stand-in for Trump. That's right. So what would I say? I would. Where did my thing go? Oops, lost it. I think this is going to go well. It's going to go fine. I think this is good. This is going to go well. And what I would suggest is that I would reach out to conservatives. Reach out to them and give them some grief and be like, hey, conservative, if you really back the blue, if you really think blue lives matter, if you've got a cool sticker on your truck of the Punisher, how about you vote for the attorney general instead of the convicted felon? But you're not gonna, are you? No. You're gonna say law and order. You're gonna say law and order and then vote for the criminal instead of the cop. And then I would give him some grief because I think that's what it comes down to. That's where we are right now, is that the cops and robbers, there's a cop and there's a felon. That's where we are. If you really do want law and order, you can't vote for Donald Trump. He is anti-law and disorder. He really is. He doesn't care about the law. The Supreme Court is bending and breaking the laws, in my opinion, to benefit him. He hasn't won in any court case ever, I think, in his entire life. I don't think Donald Trump has ever won in a court case. God, no. he loses them all. He recently just got the documents dropped because the Supreme Court changed what the law is to benefit him. They have bent the rules so that it will not apply to Donald Trump. And they've created this presidential immunity thing, which I think is a bending of the rules as well, to benefit Donald Trump. And so he doesn't actually win. He doesn't get good lawyers who win. There's buffoons, morons, who lose a lot. Because he doesn't hire the ones that are willing to lie to win. It's a whole thing. So anyway, what was my point? He's not winning in the courts. The Supreme Court is winning for him because they're the referees and they're changing the rules to benefit him, to make him happier and better. So, let's take a look at the new thing. If only, no more litigious than him are copyright scalpers. Yeah, really. Delay until the other side goes broke or gives up. That's right. Shinsinto, what are you going to do with all of your FJB merchandise? What are you going to do with all of the what was the thing? Let's Go Brandon t-shirts. Like, I know you've got a bunch of them. You were hawking them for profit. I don't know what you're going to do with all of them. You should be very upset. You should maybe sue, as some of these people are suggesting doing. Let me bring up that story next. Where did you go? Computer, there you go. There you are. So yeah, Trump and J.D. Vance lose their minds over Kamala Harris coup. The coup. It was a coup, folks. They ignored all of the votes, and Kamala Harris is now the coup caused by Hillary Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama. They came in there. They forced these people to. They forced Joe Brandon out. Fuck Joe Biden, but also we love him and we want him to stick around. It's very strange. So what have we got? We've got Donald Trump and his fellow Republicans are panicking over Joe Biden dropping out of the 2024 race. J.D. Vance has joined a chorus of conservatives who have begun claiming that President Joe Biden's decision to withdraw in 2024 constitutes a so-called coup in the Democratic Party. Conservatives generally don't know what words mean. They don't know that one either. They just know it sounds scary. Historical memorabilia. Yeah, okay, great. Maybe you could. I don't think that works, man. That's like the losing the losing team at the Super Bowl giving all their hats to South American children and all their shirts to South American children. That's what you should do. You should try. Listen, Shinsinto, you take all those FJB mugs that you've got, the Let's Go Brandon bumper stickers and all the shirts and stuff like that, and then you just donate it to South America, and then maybe you'll get a tax cut of some sort. Reason I have MAGA hats passing an armband in 1944. You're not too far off, I think. I think you're onto something there. All right, let's keep reading. In an interview filmed on Saturday with Fox and Friends' Jesse Waters, my favorite dummy, a clip aired. Waters asked former President Donald Trump, is it a coup against Joe Biden? Both of them fumbled their answers. Actually, we can watch it. Here we go. Let's watch Jesse Waters, my favorite dummy.
And if the president can't run, should he be out now? Watch.
You'd investigate the people that hid Joe Biden's condition?
Well, I think somebody has to look at it. Look, you had people that lied to the American public. And I tell you what, you ought to take a look at his doctors, because his doctors keep giving him this wonderful report. I'm not a doctor, but I saw him the other day, was unable to get up the children's stairs going into Air Force Ones.
Is it a coup against Joe Biden?
It's sort of, yeah.
I think it is. I mean, look, there's a constitutional process, the 25th Amendment. If Joe Biden can't run for president, he can't serve as president. And if they want to take him down because he's mentally incapable of serving, invoke the 25th Amendment. You don't get to sort of do this in the most politically beneficial way for Democrats.
Why not? Why don't you get to do this in the most beneficially political way for Democrats? Why? Where's that in the Constitution? Where does it say you cannot do things that benefit yourself? Donald Trump does everything to benefit himself in every way, shape, and form. Every situation, he does what he does to benefit himself nonstop. 25th Amendment is about the entire cabinet and vice president getting together to determine that the president cannot function. And if they don't think that is true, then they don't have to do it. saying that he's too old to run around Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania for the next 6 months is an acceptable thought. You could be like, hey, he's too old for that, so he's not going to do that. He's just going to do the president stuff and then give up. The Republicans are the ones that told us that he's not running anything anyway. You can go onto social media right now and find 100 hard right-wing people telling you that he hasn't actually run anything for the past 3.5 years, and that he's just some figurehead who sits doddering in the corner, drooling on himself, and doesn't do anything. He doesn't make any decisions. He picks paint chips off of the wall, and they just make all the decisions for him, and then he signs it when they put it in front of him. That's what they've been saying for years. But now he can't also, I mean, just let that happen for the next 6 months. It'll be fine. It'll be exactly the same as it was for the past 3.5 years. But as usual, Republicans don't have a whole lot of consistency or cohesion within their message. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They'll say one thing they'll say a thing today and they'll say the opposite of that thing tomorrow. They don't care. No one's removing him from office. They just talked him into not running yet. Yeah, exactly. Now it's more advantageous for them to sell it differently. Yeah, exactly. That's the Republican spin. What else do they have to be doing? Governing. Right. Republicans don't have time for that. They have elections to win. So let's see what else these guys have to say.
If it's an actual problem, they should take care of it the appropriate way.
I mean, I feel like you just look at this two ways, Ainsley. If you're looking from what's best for the country, if a president cannot run a campaign, then he can't be the president of the United States.
Problem with
but
that
if you're looking at the political...
Says who? Like, hey, I'm too tired to bounce around a dozen different campaign stops over the next week. So I'm just not going to do that. So I'm not going to run. How is that not capable of running the country?
Political way of it, then you say it gives Kamala Harris a bump by making her president.
Let's be honest.
Exactly.
He hasn't been running the country for
right.
the last
That's
3
true.
years, 3.5 years. So
There you go. See, he hasn't been running. So why are you complaining? What are you complaining about?
whatever's going on behind the scenes, they all think is working right now until he stands up on that debate stage, and then they have to go, different path. But here's the problem: if the cabinet invokes the 25th Amendment, then
They won't.
Kamala becomes president. She will run as an incumbent. Right. She would be the first female black president.
Mm-hmm.
And she would run again. And that would be a big deal for women.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So they have to be careful with this one, I think, because the political process needs to play out in a fair way. This lady was one of the first to drop out, if not the first. And then she gets picked to be VP, and then she would become the president without the people having to vote. I mean, that would be the luckiest son of a gun ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a big fall upstairs. So, what have we got? So they did that. What else we got? Joe Biden succumbed. Okay, so this is who's this? This is Senator Tom Cotton. Okay, let me do Tom Cotton's voice. Joe Biden succumbed to a coup by Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, and Hollywood donors, ignoring millions of Democratic primary votes, said Senator Tom Cotton. Tom Cotton supports Jan 6th and the failed coup that Donald Trump ran, and pushed all kinds of horseshit, nonsense, lies about the election of 2020. Tom Cotton does not give a rat's ass about primary votes. He doesn't give a rat's ass about official votes, federal votes. He doesn't give a rat's ass. Tom Cotton is a sack of shit. He's dropped out of the primary. He got some votes. Now he's given up. That's all there is to it. And she gets to use the new queen powers for the next 4 months. I think they should do the 25th Amendment, and then she should just go mad with power for 4 months. That would be fun to watch. I'd have a lot to watch. It would be fun. Where's the I'll roll emote? Can be a 200-point font. There is a goofy way, I think, to make them bigger. I don't know how to do it. I'm not smart, Shinsinto. But I added a whole bunch of stuff to... if you Google up common Twitch emotes, like I added a whole bunch today of the common ones. Okay, so look, a Pizzagate conspiracy theorist, Jack Posobiec, an actual Nazi, wrote on X that Biden's decision to drop out of the indicated that he's already been removed from power altogether. Right now, we do not have an elected leader running the country. The most powerful nation in the world is being run by bureaucrats and shadow government. So I don't know what Jack Posobiec, the Nazi, sounds like, but I just gave him Alex Jones's voice because it's fun. We're talking about shadow governments. So yeah, let's Yeah, shadow government. Shadow government. Like, you know who they are, Jack. Cut the malarkey, Jack. It's not being run by bureaucrats and shadow government. And even if it was, it's not doing too bad. I mean, yeah, the inflation's too high, but other than that, it's doing okay. Stephen Miller's mad, and I love it when Stephen Miller's mad. I know that we shouldn't run a government and build all our policies based on what Stephen Miller doesn't want. But I really kind of want to. I kind of want to get his opinion on everything, then just do the opposite. It's not, I know it's not sound, but it would make me feel good. It would make me feel better if Stephen Miller, the Nazi, were telling us what we should do with priorities and should do with policy and how we should pass laws, and then we just do exactly the opposite. It would make me feel good. I recognize that the Republicans run mostly out of spite. And am I spiteful towards all Republicans? No. Am I spiteful towards that one? Yes. I am very spiteful towards Stephen Miller. Here he is mad and complaining and unhappy. And that makes me happy, you know?
I think one of the most important factors, which Obama obviously knows, is that she would be the most liberal head of a Democrat ticket in American history. Left of Carter, left of McGovern, she would be the leftmost candidate ever to lead the Democrat Party. Think about how that's going to turn off working class voters.
Oh, Stephen, baby. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Thank you.
All over the country, not to mention her record as border czar. So they are truly trapped because she has none of Biden's attractive qualities to the working class, which is why they chose him in 2020, all of the baggage of the administration, and she's really napalm, in fact, for working class voters.
No, if she's the left, if she's as far left as you say she is, and I hope she is. I don't think she is, but she's further left than obviously you are. She would be helpful to the workers. I mean, there's a reason all of the damn workers unions are on the left, except for the past couple of days.
But if they ditch her, they lose all of the money they've raised, and they go into a totally chaotic convention. So this really is a Democrat Party in crisis.
Crisis? No, my man. We just stepped it up. We just got slightly better. That's not the crisis.
Well, they're pretending it's all exciting, right?
It's not exciting. Don't you think that it's exciting? What is her name? That's, God, what is her name? Ingram. Yeah. Don't let Laura Ingram tell you what isn't exciting.
Right? They're saying, this is exciting.
It is.
No,
No.
It's chaos. Oh. You literally subverted your own democratic process.
She refuses to accept that Hillary Clinton got more votes than Donald Trump in 2016. It's a fact, but she fights that fact. She doesn't accept that Joe Biden got 7 million more votes than Donald Trump in 2020. She argues that fact on a regular basis.
As you spent the last 3.5 years, more, let's say 6 years, or let's say 9 years, trashing Donald Trump for doing literally what you just did to your own voters.
Okay, so she knows that Trump cheats and doesn't accept and doesn't respect the votes, okay? But she's saying that's fake.
There may be, 25-30% of the voters who still preferred Joe Biden to remain at the top of the ticket, right? I mean, at least that.
Well,
and they don't care about those voters, Stephen. They don't care.
They held a primary.
No, they didn't. The Dems did not hold a primary. They did not want to hold a primary. The DNC didn't really hold a primary. There was very few people on the rare places that did do a primary. They didn't put anybody else on the ballot and stuff like that. They didn't really run a primary. They usually don't when you have the incumbency. Completely normal not to run the primary. And even if you do, it's like a primary in name only. A PINO. Primary in name only. Yeah, reality tastes like shit. That's right, Shinsinto.
Ballots. They filled out circles. They went to the voting booths. They spent money on advertisements. And as President Trump said, The Republican Party spent tens of millions of dollars running against Joe Biden. Now they just woke up one morning and said, never mind, we're canceling the entire primary. We're getting rid of our candidate, and we're pretending the election has never even happened, and we're going to let donors handpick a new nominee. They're publicly admitting that they are an oligarchy. They are not running a democracy. They are not running a representative republic. This is an oligarchy controlled by business interests. And the Democratic Convention is the private corporation that represents those business interests.
That's always been true. That's always been true. I was trying to whisper Shinto and tell him that he can do a exclamation TTS if he wants the robot lady to read out his message. Because I don't think he was here at the beginning of the stream, and now I can't. I've dicked up my chat. I've dicked up my own chat on my screen. What is this that I'm looking at? Oh, I can X that. Thank you. Terrible streamer. I'm the worst. I'm very bad at it. I can barely even function on a normal basis. So, yes, it's always been a private corporation. The DNC, Democratic National Committee, is not a government entity. Never has been. This is not a surprise to me because I know how things actually work. They run the primary with the idea of getting everybody's votes and counting them all up and deciding who among them they think they should field as the presidential nominee. The one who was in the lead was the incumbent, was Joe Biden. He has given up because he sees the difficulty ahead of him. He sees the bad numbers, and he's old and he feels tired. There you go. That's not a coup. He has given up. So now they have to come up with some sort of plan to somewhat choose a new person. There will be delegate votes at the convention in August. I have a feeling all of those votes, or a very large majority of them, will be for good old Kamala. And if it's not, then she won't be the nominee. That democracy will happen with those delegates there. Yes, that's short term, and the delegates are chosen by the party, sure, but they will do what they can. They will do what's best. And if you don't like that, you can vote for nobody. Nobody's forcing you to vote. Nobody's forcing any of this stuff to happen, which I think is weird, the way you would be so upset, Mr. Stephen Miller. I'm glad you are upset, though. I don't like it when you get what you want, specifically, Stephen Miller. Trump's already trying to back out of his debate with Kamala Harris. Former president said the debate, if it happens, should be broadcast by Fox instead of very biased ABC. Very biased ABC. Donald Trump's already trying to change the rules for the second scheduled presidential debate after Joe Biden announced his withdrawal from the 2024 presidential race on Sunday. Now that Joe has, not surprisingly, quit the race, I think the debate with whomever the radical left Democrats choose should be held on Fox News rather than very biased ABC. No, that's dumb. There's nothing especially biased about ABC. Are they a news organization? Yes. Do they report facts? Yeah. Are they bending things and twisting things to your narrative like Fox News? No. Very biased ABC, but on the truthful Fox. I mean, you can't make that shit up. With the Democrat running mate still unknown, Trump's own pick, J.D. Vance, has also been hesitant to commit to a debate. Before Biden announced his withdrawal, the Trump campaign and Vance said Vance would not debate Harris. He's just not going to debate her? Okay. Shouldn't the Republican Party be reimbursed for fraud in that everybody around Joe, including his doctors and the fake news media, knew he was not capable of running for or being president on Truth Social? So fraud. Shouldn't the Republican Party be reimbursed for fraud? He's mad that they got FJB T-shirts made to hand out to people. He's upset about the merch. He's upset about the mugs that say "Let's go, Brandon." You know, he's very upset about all the branding of all the equipment that he bought from Bangladesh is going to have to be resent or canceled, and a new person's name is going to have to be added to it. That's what he's upset about. Fraud. Not even close to being the correct use of that term. Again, Republicans don't know what words mean. They just know that some of them sound scary. Coup sounds scary. Fraud sounds scary. He would know about fraud. No, he doesn't. I wish he did know about fraud. He might be better at it. He wouldn't be so bad at it. I don't think he knows what the word fraud means. Does he do it often? Yes. But he doesn't know why it's wrong. Donald Trump commits frauds all the time. He doesn't know they're wrong. He can't comprehend why the court keeps coming after him. He doesn't get it. He's too dumb to comprehend the thing he's doing is wrong, illegal, and dishonest. He doesn't know it. He's the world's perfect idiot, you know? Let's see. Is there more on this one? Nope, that's it for there. Then what we've got is Trump world is really mad that Biden's no longer running. So Donald Trump and his supporters have slammed Joe Biden for quitting the race and endorsing Kamala Harris. Some members of the Trump world are bemoaning the millions of dollars spent running against Biden. Biden's withdrawal also means that Trump is now the oldest candidate in the presidential race. I might take a swing at the conservatives there too and be like, hey, we got rid of our old guy. Are you going to get rid of yours? Hey, conservative. We got rid of our really old guy. Are you going to get rid of yours? No? Okay. Let's see what this one says. In the wake of that, his announcement sparked angry outbursts from former President Donald Trump and his supporters who called the sudden switch a coup. Yeah, we cover the coup. Ian Miles Chong, a Nazi, a conservative blogger and friend of Elon Musk, yeah, another Nazi, reposted a screenshot of Trump saying his campaign was forced to waste money against Biden for so long and it did only the Democrats. Okay. His campaign was forced to waste money against Biden for as long as it did, only for the Democrats to pull the rug out from under him by pulling Joe out of the race. Forced to waste money. I must have missed that day in civics class when the current president holds a gun up to his opponent's head and says, you write that check right now, Jack. Cut that malarkey. Cut that check. I'm forcing you to spend all your money running against me. Is that how that goes? Is that how that went down? He was forced by law, by violence, by promise of bodily harm that he needed to spend money campaigning against Joe Biden. Is that how that goes? If not, maybe the word force is wrong. Again, Republicans don't know what words mean. They don't know what the word forced means. Waste money for so long, but she's been campaigning for 4 years. I know, right? He's been campaigning for a very long time. He hasn't stopped. He never stops. Trump raises an excellent point. His campaign was forced to waste money. This is a form of cheating. They don't know what the word cheating means. Republicans, I tell the Republicans all the time that they are cheating. And they don't get it. They don't understand. They can't comprehend. And then whenever they see a thing they don't like, it's cheating. Well, no, man. Madison Cawthorn, huge piece of shit, who used to be North Carolina congressman, echoed Trump's demand for a refund from the Biden-Harris campaign. Someone sue the Biden-Harris campaign for a refund and request a preliminary injunction. That campaign should not be allowed to spend $1 on Kamala's behalf until it's fully litigated. Madison Cawthorn, attorney at law here, folks. Shut up, Doggo. What are you barking at? Bark boy, barking. I don't know what are you doing? We're going to have a Bobo break. I don't know what you're barking at. Why are you barking? What are you barking at? Is there somebody out there? Are you going to get him? Are you going to get him? Go get him. I don't know what he was up to. Why is he doing that? Okay. Sorry. Bobo break. Okay. Stephen Miller's very mad. We already covered him. I'm glad he's mad. I like it when he's mad.
Love you, Bobo.
There it is. I got him out of the race. That means we have Kamala, Trump said in the clip. Okay. Are you happy about that? Are you proud of that? Is that a good thing for you? Are you glad about that? Or are you mad? cackling co-pilot Kamala Harris. Laughing Kamala Harris. Not bad. That doesn't roll off the tongue, you know. Laughing Kamala Harris. Cackling co-pilot Kamala Harris. That one's got the k. Let's see. What else we got? We've got... Oh, okay. Here we go. This is a completely, slightly separate subject, but some J.D. Vance news. Ohio State Senator George Lang, as if you needed a guess, said that Trump-Vance 2024 rally on Monday that he's afraid a civil war might be necessary if Republicans lose the election. Remember a week ago when they told me to calm down with the rhetoric, and that me comparing Donald Trump to Palpatine was causing people to shoot at him? Here's a Republican senator after the shooting saying that a civil war might be necessary if Republicans lose. I believe wholeheartedly Donald Trump and Butler County's J.D. Vance are the last chance to save our country politically. I'm afraid if we lose this one, it's going to take a civil war to save the country, and it will be saved. It's the greatest experiment in the history of mankind. If we come down to a civil war, I'm glad we got people like Bikers for Trump on our side. Now, this is very typical of Republican types, especially from the Midwest, to talk about civil war to save the country. What's wrong with that? What needs saving? You lost an election. That's it. That's all. It's all that's ever happened. Some of the laws move slightly differently. Some of the laws get passed that you don't like. And some of the things that you do like don't get done. That's it. Carelessly throwing around the Nazi label, immediately complaining about the meaning of words. Yeah, I am. Trump is Jabba the Hutt. Biden is Palpatine. Trump is Palpatine. He just got disfigured and he just had an attempt on his life that left him disfigured and scarred. You know, that's a whole Trump Palpatine thing. I fell in love with the South, hiking on the Appalachian Trail, and it hurts to see the region hurting. Reminds me of how old neighborhood in Puerto Rico used to be. Yeah, I am being flippant with the Nazi label. I usually shouldn't do it. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it only at the people that I really think are Nazis, which is Jack Posobiec. Yeah. And Ian Miles Chong. Yeah, him too. Let's see, what do we got? So what was I thinking about? Why did I bring that one up? I brought that one up because it is just more of them complaining about using violent rhetoric on Monday, and then crying about Dems using violent rhetoric on Tuesday. It doesn't matter to them. They love the violent rhetoric. Trump is a fat, pervy criminal underlord. Biden is an imperialist using his massive war machine to try to level shit. You're making good points. You are. You're making good points. You're making good points. Yeah. I mean, honestly, who's more likely to grab him by the pussy? I mean, Palpatine or Jabba. I mean, he keeps the dancing girls on chains. Yeah, okay. All right. Rides around on a throne. Yeah, I think you're making good points. Okay, so what is next? So what do we got? Oh, okay, here's some conspiracy theories. So I'm going to put my hat on for this one. One sec. All right, here we go. I got my hat on. I hope you're ready for some conspiracy talk. So we are prepped and ready to go. After Musk's pro-Trump Vance bender, X users report issues following Kamala Harris's accounts. So Elon Musk, it was about a year ago that the allegations against him came out. Full story, not full story, abbreviated story, the way I like to tell it. On Monday, he got a phone call, Elon Musk, he got a phone call from a newspaper. That newspaper then said, hey, we're going to run a story on like Thursday, or on this, like on Thursday, we're going to run a story about one of your workers who says you sexually propositioned her and promised to buy her a horse if she did sexy things for you. He said no comment on Monday. Tuesday, he got online and said, I'm leaving the left. I'm never coming back. The left is captured by trial lawyers and the unions, and I can't stand it anymore. I'm a Republican now, and I'm a registered Republican. Go Donald Trump. Yeah. And that's what he said. And then at the end of that sentence, he's like, if you hear any bad news about me, if any crazy stories come out, it's because they're coming back at me for leaving the left. They're attacking me. Then on Thursday, that report comes out that he sexually propositioned one of his workers, promised to buy her a horse. We all went like, wait, what? And then we all looked at him, and he's like, yeah, that's the retaliation that I was talking about. He knew that story was coming out, so he swapped to the Republican side quickly before the left could cancel him. He avoided the entire left so that they couldn't cancel him. Ever since, he has been pushing for Republican ideas, pushing, who was this? That was Elon Musk. What did that? Elon Musk. Now, ever since then, he has been pushing right-wing ideas. He has fired everybody from Twitter and made Twitter way more okay for the hard right and the people who are shit posters, honestly. He unbanned millions of people from Twitter. He let Alex Jones back on. He gave Tucker Carlson his own show. Horrible ideas, both. Terrible ideas. Both bad guys. So, he has promised over the last week, he promised to give Donald Trump himself, Donald Trump's Political Action Committee, $45 million a month until the election. $45 million a month. He's promised. He said that, not me. This isn't me sneaking around, looking through the back alleys and looking at his receipts. He said happily, willingly, that he's going to give Donald Trump $45 million a month so that Donald Trump can win and lower his taxes. He clearly doesn't pay enough already. I mean, if he's got $45 million a month to throw around, we should be taxing him more. I'm not afraid to say that. But where the latest conspiracy comes in is right here. He went nuts on Sunday. President Joe Biden's decision on Sunday to drop out of the 2024 race and endorse Vice President Kamala Harris set off a flurry of posts and panic regarding the new state of the presidential race. One particularly indefatigable conservative poster concerned by Biden's move was CEO Elon Musk, who tweeted 151 times on Sunday, his most ever. He did more tweets that day. Trump Vance LFG. Oh no, boys, look out! He's learned leet speak. He's LFG. He's gonna be poning noobs in no time. Watch out for Haxlers. He's got the leet speak now, boys. Musk's super active day, which included 346 likes, more than he's ever dropped before. I'm so happy that someone knows this. Had people speculating that Musk was panicking now that a younger candidate will be facing off against former President Donald Trump in the election this November. They are worried that Harris is going to be more difficult to beat. Posted throwaway 123581134. The GOP put its entire campaign strategy into personally attacking Biden, and they are intentionally hiding their platform because they know it's wildly unpopular and just can't compete with the Biden's economic and foreign policies. Some people on X also said it's the first time this happened. Oh, okay. They can't follow Kamala Harris and her campaign headquarters. The first time this happened, I can't follow an account, Kamala HQ, because my limit is reached. And I'm currently following roughly 2,500 accounts. Super shady. It seems like real coincidental. This doesn't match the X follow limits. Can anyone explain? So there are photos of people who are incapable of following Kamala's thing on Twitter. And he doesn't like her. And he owns Twitter, and they all just do what he says. They have a skeleton crew these days. And he threw out all the boring weenies who talked about what's ethical. He threw out the entire ethics department. He threw out all the people who were deciding what to mod and what not to. And he threw out the whole mod team. They're just doing what he says now. So, sorry. They're just doing what he says. And that makes it harder to follow Kamala at her headquarters. Is that a conspiracy or is it a coincidence? Were so many people going there that it actually fouled up the system and they just couldn't process it? Possibly. But it happened a lot, and a lot of people are pointing at it. And from my point of view, this is a really good reason that the richest person in the world shouldn't be political, as blatantly, obviously political, choosing a side, and owning the most powerful communication and news device the world has ever known. That's the kind of shit you write novels about. That's the kind of shit Ray Bradbury would write fucking novels about. The richest man in the world owns the most powerful communication device ever known. And he wants one specific person to win over the other. That's some shit. That is some wild shit. Like that's dystopian. We live in a dystopia. We really do. We live in an absolute dystopia right now. And the richest man in the world wants Donald Trump to win and will give him shitloads of money. And he owns Twitter. And tells them what to do on a regular basis. Tells them who not to like. And he could shut that shit down. He could close Kamala's headquarters on Twitter at the drop of a hat, at the wave of a hand. He could just tell them to delete that shit. And it would be gone. Maybe he shouldn't be in charge. Maybe you need a whole ethics board to run something like that, and he shouldn't have fired them. Perhaps I knew this was a bad idea to begin with. I've never been a huge fan of Twitter, but at least they were trying before Elon took over. Now he just does whatever he wants and tells them who to like and who not to like. Needed another Lincoln, but it seems we need another Teddy. Time to bust some trusts. Absolutely. Fantastic idea. Bust the trusts. I'm on board with that.
I did not mean to drop that.
It's okay. Just got attacked. So is it a conspiracy? What do you guys think? Do you think that he absolutely did this on purpose just to foul her up, or did he accidentally do it, or was it just a whole lot of attention paid? The Stream Jedi is here. Hello, Stream Jedi. How are you?
I am what do you call it?
Using
Telepathically doing something.
Oh, good. Great. Thank you. Go away. Okay. That's what I got to put up with. That's what I got to live with. Okay. What? Yeah, if you guys think it's a conspiracy or it's a coincidence, let me know. I followed 0 accounts today, but for some reason I can't follow the official Kamala Harris campaign account. Shady AF. Come on. All right.
I think she banned you.
Right.
Specifically.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take the hat off. We're done with the conspiracy for now. All right. So let's keep talking about J.D. Vance. He is my favorite new radical. He is pretty radical. He's not just a normal guy. But I don't want to talk about this one. I want to read... Is this the one I wanted to read? That one's a silly. That one we already watched. And that one just popped up, so I don't know. Okay. J.D. Vance is a tech bro, for sure. He really is. He's friends with Peter Thiel. They really do kind of think that they can write a code that can solve all our problems. It doesn't matter what the problem is. Not enough oil, write a computer code. If it's still a problem, it's because you haven't written a computer code good enough to solve it. Not enough money, write a computer code. Racism, write a computer code. That'll fix it. They are tech bro futurists. They love cryptocurrencies, which, again, I say every time that they come up, cryptocurrencies are a scam. All of them. The Dogecoin, the Litecoin, the Bitcoin, all of them. A scam. You have to spend a bunch of money to get them. Or buy them. US dollar is also a scam. Just a more, yes, the dollar is a scam. We invented it. But it is a more secure scam that has laws dictating what you can and can't do with it. So it's a little bit more legitimate than crypto, which doesn't have a whole lot of laws, and even then you have to spend a bunch of money to get them, and the only way you can spend them is to turn them back into U.S. dollars. It's used to fuel that massive war machine. Yeah, I know, and everybody accepts them. They don't run that massive war machine on Bitcoin. And even if you tried to run the massive war machine with Bitcoin, you just turn them back into dollars to use them. Anywho, J.D. Vance's radical plan to build a government of Trump loyalists, fire every single mid-level bureaucrat, every civil servant in the administrative state, replace them with our people. That is his plan. That is what he wants to do. The Project 2025, you've heard about it. It's all over the news. The left has been talking about it. I talked about it 2 years ago when they released the damn thing, and I read all 900 pages. But this is part of the 2025 plan. Donald Trump's allies have laid out sweeping plans to reshape the executive branch of the federal government if he is returned to power, plans that involve firing perhaps tens of thousands of career civil servants and replacing them with hand-picked MAGA allies. How far exactly would Trump go in trying to tear down what he calls the deep state? The answer isn't clear. In picking J.D. Vance as his vice president, he's picked someone who will egg him on to go very far indeed. If I was giving him one piece of advice for a second term, Vance said on 21 podcast, fire every single mid-level bureaucrat, every civil servant in the administrative state, and replace them with our people. This is cancel culture. Obviously, right? Like, clearly. It's cancel culture. You think wrongly, so we will fire you. Oh, hi, John K. Thanks for coming in. We're talking about cancel culture and how the right loves it. J.D. Vance likes cancel culture. Let me say it this way. The right wing will cry about DEI. They'll cry about the billions of white men fired because of mandatory diversity quotas, and they will demand meritocracy. But J.D. Vance is not calling for meritocracy here. He's calling for the opposite. He's calling for an ugly reflection of wokeism. He's more than willing to fire people for their ideology. They will then fill the government with people who believe correctly. And the point I'm trying to make is that the right loves cancel culture. They don't actually have an ethical principled reason to dislike cancel culture. No. They're simply unhappy with who society decided ought to be canceled. Society chose the backward-facing, the racists, the bigots, and society chose to cancel them, and they're upset about it. This isn't they don't dislike cancel culture. They just dislike the idea that it's pointed in their direction. They use it all the time. They demand that it be used, and that's what J.D. Vance is going to do. If you don't vote for Donald Trump, you will lose your government job. No one's ever done that before, but he wants to do it. No one's ever suggested that. The cabinet changes out, but they're specifically appointed. But the mid-level folks, no. It doesn't matter who wins. They're still going to do their mid-level job. But that's about to change, and all of the swamp water will get thrown out and replaced with Trump brand swamp water. And this is why I get nervous. Okay, this is why he makes me scared and makes me nervous and makes me want to talk about all those. That's why I use the dangerous language. X and V, you called me out on it earlier, and you were right to, by using the hyperbolic language, calling people Nazis and stuff like that, calling them authoritarians, which is usually what I tend to do. I think this is part of the authoritarian move. This is one of the authoritarian plays. Get rid of all the mid-level people, fill it in with your guys. Then when you break the law, they won't argue with you. When you tell them to break the law, they won't argue with you. Both sides actually push this idea that this is going to be the last election. Both sides have said that. Joe Biden has said that and said if we don't win, Donald Trump's going to take over and we will not have any more elections. He said that. Donald Trump has said that about Biden. I don't know why. If we don't win, this might be the last election. We won't have a country left, I think was Donald Trump's literal words, that we won't have a country left. There won't be any country here if Donald Trump loses, according to him. And they're both saying the same kind of thing, which is why I'm interested in hearing about it and thinking about it. What is it that makes them think that the other side is going to completely destroy the country? That wasn't something that Bush said to Mondale. It wasn't something that Clinton said to who did he run against? George W. Bush, H.W. Bush. That's not something that happened. He didn't say the country will cease to exist if you will elect George Herbert Walker Bush. He never said that. Bush never said that about Clinton. They just disagreed on the policies. But I really do think that there is a danger with Trump and Vance that they will fill the people in those mid-level areas. Something like Jan 6 happens and nobody will get in trouble for it because they'll be pardoned and things like that. And that's what makes me nervous, is that J.D. Vance said that if he were the vice president in 2020, he would have allowed for the goofiness to happen on Jan 6. He would have allowed for the fake electors to be counted, and then said, oh no, something's wrong here. Guess we better stop. Guess we better wait. Guess we better cancel all that. And that makes me nervous. J.D. Vance is dangerous. He would manipulate the vote. He would accept the idea of calling the Georgia election officials and telling them to find some votes. They would be on board for that. That makes me nervous. And so that's why I complain about him all the time. Biden is Tony. Didn't you hear? He's out. Denied his dementia. I told you he'd step down weeks ago. Was right. I was right. You were not right anywhere, Tony. Tony, after that thing, I told you he was going to bow out. I said that weeks ago. You should go back in the VODs. Tony, here's an idea, boss. Tony, go back in the VODs and then watch them. And I want everybody to know that in all of the VODs, I do hide secret Illuminati symbols. And if you don't see them, watch it again. Okay? Trust me. Waldo, you got cooked. How did I get cooked? And if you don't see them after that second watch, you don't see the secret hidden Illuminati symbols, share it with a friend. Tell them to watch it as well. Then if they can't see it, they'll watch it a second time. This is a foolproof plan. Kamala can't win against Trump. She might. She has a better chance than Joe does. She does. Voting for Trump multiple times. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. The right does like to cheat at elections. Shinsento's found all of the secret Illuminati symbols. I'm so glad that you found them all. Forward it to a friend so they can watch too. So yeah, that's the thing. What else was I thinking about? So yeah, J.D. Vance, that guy. Let's watch a funny video. Yeah, let's do that. This one's fun. Here we go. Everybody loves it when Maytag is stupid. Here we go. Maytag being stupid.
I need your response to this.
And you think gas prices are high now? Just wait until you're forced to drive an electric vehicle.
Guys, come on. Come on, girl. Come on, Maytag. Gas prices are high now. Wait until you're forced by law to drive an electric vehicle. Problem there, Madge. They don't take gas. They take electricity. And then Pete Buttigieg right here not only has a good time giving her grief, but like has solves her problem for her.
It's also probably worth noting from Marjorie Taylor Greene that you probably aren't too concerned about the cost of gas if you're driving an EV. So I don't know what that fear-mongering was supposed to accomplish for her.
If you really wanted to think it through, I suppose if everybody was driving an EV, then global petroleum markets would probably show a drop in demand, which means oil would actually be cheaper. But yeah. I doubt she thought through all of those.
Yeah.
Because everybody's forced to drive an EV, the gas prices actually go down. She's wrong on two different levels. She's wrong squared. She's wrong squared. No one in my life can boil my blood like her. Yeah, I know. God bless the man that can keep a marriage for her. Yeah, I think she's got an ex-husband and a boyfriend. Sorry about your side. Lost this one? Well, not yet, Tony. The time dimension has yet to get to the election day. If you are a time traveler, Tony, you have to tell me. That's the law. Everybody knows that's law. Okay? If you're a time traveler and you've already been to the future and you already know who won, you have to tell me you're a time traveler. Those are the rules. Those are the laws. You're not allowed to keep that secret. Okay? If you're traveling the fourth dimension, you have to tell me. Okay? So let's see. So that was fun. She's wrong in such a good way. I don't know. So we're gonna destroy it. Nah, seems unlikely. I'll pull up the map here in just a minute, and we can talk about the map, Tony, if you'd like to. What is this? Representative Anna Paulina Luna leaves disgraced. Secret Service Director Cheadle shaking and in silence after catching her in a perjury lie. You have perjured yourself. I ask that we bring perjury charges against the director. We are prepared to hold you in contempt. The Republicans are going hard on this Secret Service lady, the head of the Secret Service. I don't know why.
Can you please give me the names of the individuals who are in charge of your con-op for the rally?
I'm not going to release names.
Can you give me the
today.
titles? And how many individuals?
No.
Nothing?
We had a full advance team that was responsible for advancing
How many
the site.
people are the final approval authority?
There are a number of people
Can you
that
give me a
are
number?
engaged in approving
Can you
the
give
plan.
me a number?
No, I do not have
Okay.
a firm number.
Can you just confirm whether or not, I understand this is an open investigation, but in order to dispel conspiracy theories, have you guys been able to subpoena the shooter's Discord records?
In order to dispel conspiracy theories, she wants to hear what he typed into Discord? Nah, man, Discord's where conspiracy theories are made, hun. I don't think you know what it is.
Or has the FBI, to your knowledge?
I believe that the FBI is working on those.
Okay. Is it factual to say that you have not ruled out that the shooter was working with other people or persons?
Again, the FBI is conducting the criminal investigation into
Can
the
you,
shooter.
at least in an effort to dispel conspiracy theories, can you confirm or deny that?
At this time, we do not have that there were any other people engaged.
So you believe he's acting alone?
I do.
Okay. Have you been made aware of multiple eyewitness reporting that there was a second shooter on a water tower?
I do not have any information related to any second shooter.
Okay, the reason I asked that is because according to testimony from multiple witnesses, they did report that. And again, to my understanding, there were over 40 sniper teams that were briefed by the Butler ESU. And I want to make sure that people are aware, if you're saying that there's not another shooter, that we are able to clear that information, because from the...
She said she doesn't have any information about another shooter. It's different than saying there isn't one.
Whole entire briefing, it doesn't seem like much information has been able to get out to the American people. So I'm trying to dispel rumors, as I'm sure you understand. Was it true that Secret Service was present at the Butler ESU briefing?
There was a briefing between the counter sniper teams that were working
Secret
on
Service
the ground.
Present?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Okay, I want to read you a report from people that seem to be throwing you under the bus and stated that they were in attendance and that Secret Service was not in attendance at the security briefing, according to individuals with knowledge, to also include that the AGR building where the shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks was located was actually not a part of their security perimeter for that. So there was not Secret Service present. It seems as though that when you were asked earlier from Rep. Kristamorthy about whether or not Secret Service was aware of a threat, you had said no, they were unaware of a threat. And yet, according to communications, again, from law enforcement that were in some of these group chats, they actually had reported that Secret Service was made aware of a threat at around 5:59 p.m. as a part of the command, including Secret Service, aware of messages and requests about information about the suspect's location. Can you please tell me if you have knowledge of that at all?
Again, I think we're conflating the difference between the term threat and suspicious.
But you guys did have knowledge at 5:59 p.m. according to those group chats, did you not?
Of a suspicious individual.
Okay. Chairman, in my opinion, according to some of the testimony today, I feel that you have perjured yourself in some instances, and so I'm going to ask for a full review of the transcripts by staff, and if you find that to be the case, I do ask that you bring perjury charges against the director. I will say this, it is very frustrating, and I've talked to my colleagues, and we've said it to your face, that you have been up here basically stonewalling our ability to get the answers to the American people. And what I will also say is that every single member of Congress does not feel safe with you in charge. You have heard that, and I think that we are all sitting ducks with you in directing the Secret Service currently. But more importantly, it sends a message to our adversaries that we are not protected, and we are one of the strongest countries in the world, so you have essentially made us a less safe country because of it. As a result of that, I'm asking you to formally step down. I share my same opinions as my Democrat colleagues. And I also think that your efforts to bring forward a full investigation and report in 60 days is unacceptable. And as a result of that, I'm going to do everything in my legislative toolkit to ensure that that happens sooner rather than later. And I'm sure that you know that we brought a vote on inherent contempt against Garland for essentially blocking a congressional investigation, and I don't think that you should be any different. So I will say that I am just completely disgusted by your performance today, and I understand that you are probably in a position where you're being told not to testify, which is why we had to subpoena you. I think that goes back to Garland. But again, that is part of the flushing that we need to get out of Washington, and I would be happy to assist in that process.
The flushing. I can't button. Yeah, you're right. Congressional hearings are the paramount of the political theater. Nothing said amounts to anything except getting the base fired up because you did a thing. Absolutely correct. I think you're right. Most of the people in Congress don't want to be there. They don't want to be doing difficult things. They don't want to be making complicated decisions. They want to stand in front of a camera and tell you how they feel. They want to be live streamers. They want to do what I'm doing, but they don't know how, or they're too ugly, or they can't handle all the cool memes. They don't know all the leet speak. They don't know how to set up a live stream and a microphone. It's very difficult. That's what I think they want. That is what I think that this lady wants. She doesn't want to make complicated decisions. She wants to yell at people, and she wants to hold everybody responsible, and she just wants to be a live streamer. She could. I think she should. I think she should abandon her current legislative agenda, go be a live streamer, let someone else take your seat who wants to be there. That's what I would suggest anyway. Did the Secret Service do a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I don't care. It's over. They can hash this out and they can argue left and right, but I don't think it is a partisan issue. And even if, but somebody's going to turn it into, because everything is political, everything, even whether or not the Secret Service did a good job. If they didn't do a good job, Republicans are going to tell you that's the Democrats' fault. And if they didn't do a good job, Democrats are going to tell you that's the Republicans' fault. Maybe it's too kind, but I'd never talked to the woman who's in charge of the Secret Service like that. Yeah, I know. How many times has the lady kept every one of the members from death? They don't know because they're a secret. It could happen very often, and she just doesn't know it. Running her through the mud like that is graceful. Yeah, I agree. It's she's going too far to make her political points. She's getting some I win buttons, and it got me to watch her damn. I've never heard of Luna before, but I watched her for 5 minutes talking there. Bare minimum, there's incompetence and a cover up. I don't know that there's a cover up, man. I really don't. I have not been paying very close attention. But if you think there is, feel free to toss it into the Discord and tell me that there is a cover up. That's the Discord right there. Hop in there and throw some evidence towards a cover-up. But I think it's just somebody looking for, I think it's just Republicans generally looking for a narrative, looking for something to blame, something to grab onto. They hate the idea, and I'm generalizing, I know, about Republicans, but they hate the idea that no one's in charge. There has to be a narrative. There has to be a mastermind. There has to be some sort of power at play and in charge. Mayorkas is one of those things. He's just doing his job. He's just doing the same job everybody else has done, but he's a nefarious guy running schemes and complicated plots. When you're an authoritarian, you have to assume that everything is an authoritarian plot. Yeah, I think you're right. So that's where I come down on it. I haven't been paying very close attention, so there could be things and details that I'm not aware of. It's not been the focus of mine because I don't know that it matters that much. Let's say that they were completely ignorant and they did a bad job. Okay? Hold them responsible and then move on. There's no politics there. If you ask me, there's no politics there. incompetence and cover up by someone selected by Biden obviously becomes a political issue. Well, sure. Now there's politics. You're right. Move your head. We're solving puzzles in the back. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. I'm playing this with my feet, by the way. I can talk politics. I can read chat. I can argue with you guys. I can run a stream, and I can play Banjo-Kazooie with my toes at the same time. You like that? I did that with my foot. There you go. See? I'm so good at this. You guys are, and I'm not even looking at the screen. It's behind me. I'm using the mirrored version here in the stream OBS window. What do we have anything else to talk about tonight? We got that. I got my two little shorts out of the way, and I think that's about it. I know it was only an hour and a half tonight, but let's see what else we got. Did anybody toss anything into there? I'd say get this man in Congress, but he's already beat them. Yeah, I know. I know what they want. They want to be doing what I'm doing right now. They wish they could do this. I mean, what happens after the gavel and everybody leaves the Congress? They all run to get into front of a camera. Did you see it? And they run to jump in front of the cameras, and all the cameras are lined up there. So you just pick one and jump in front of it and start talking, telling everybody how you feel. I do that now. Why would I need to go to Congress for that? That is, I think, it for me tonight. As usual, you can hop into the Discord right here and put out and put links into the Discord. I'll bring those links up in front of on the stream. We'll talk about it. We'll feel it. Everything will have a good time. If you'd like to watch old videos, you can do so at the YouTube page, which is right here at YouTube. As I said earlier at the beginning of the stream, you have to do TTS to get the Lady Canooch to speak.
Lady Canooch.
She's been there the whole time. You just have to do exclamation TTS to get her to speak. If you want to tell me a thing, if you think it's good, if you got a zinger, real good zinger, toss it in there, and then I will. I think I got new emotes, but you have to type them exactly correctly. That's the only one that I can remember. There are 35, maybe 40 of them. I just don't remember what they are. Try some out. If you'd like to play the slots, I don't know if you can do it TTS there, KVP. That was part of the reason I did it. Just do exclamation slots without the TTS.
It's really Jover.
It's really Jover. No, you refuse. You must have Canooch tell us what your slots were. You can do it. I believe in you. Because that's part of the reason I did this. I made this change anyway, is so that it would. There it is. Look at you. You can still play the slots. We just don't have to hear it. I know this upsets you. It's just commencing. Okay, I'm on board. KVP, see, already you're winning. See, this is a good choice that I made. I appreciate everybody who's here tonight. Thank you very much. I will be back on Wednesday night with more streams just like this one. And if we run out of news too soon, I'll play a video game or something like that. Then I'll be back on Saturday. Sometimes Thomas comes and joins on Saturdays. He is my conservative friend who comes in and gives us his conservative ideas. And sometimes he comes in on Saturdays, sometimes not. So I'll be back on Wednesday at 7 o'clock PST, West Coast, Best Coast, and Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for the regular Saturday stream. That is it for me tonight. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for coming, and I will see you on Wednesday. Goodbye.